everyone, I'm Bee,
And I'm Bear.
and welcome to Ask Bee and Bear. We're just two den mates in your local forest trying to answer your questions and give you advice.
So the first segment we're going to do is usually called One Good Thing, One Bad Thing. But this time, we're trying to keep it positive because we felt that our last episode was a little sad and we don't want to cry any longer. So this new segment for today, maybe we'll continue it, we don't know. This segment is going to be one good thing, one piece of unsolicited advice. We know that we are generally an advice show. That's what the podcast is about. But sometimes y'all don't ask us the questions that we want to talk about. So we're going to give you unsolicited advice.
True.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So we could start with the good thing, I guess.
Let's do one good thing first. Go
okay, so my good thing is that I finished all my grad school applications.
Woo!
Yes, to get into a new forest, I guess.
True.
Yeah, so that's all done. So now I'm like slightly more relaxed about my GPA and all the school stuff that's going on now.
That's good.
And it's just good to have that weight off my shoulders.
Every single one of them is done?
Yeah, all 4 of them.
Wow. No, seriously though, that's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you, Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people are applying to like 10 schools still, even though it's still grad school. It's like not undergrad, it's grad school,
right.
But whatever.
That's interesting. I don't think I would want to go through that process again, applying to as many schools as I did. Like, I think 4 is a reasonable number, especially once you're going into what seems to be a really specified program.
Yes, I mean, food science already is a small program, so the grad schools are even, I guess, like, smaller than the undergraduate programs. So I'm really looking for specific people right now, not necessarily schools.
Right.
So at these 4 schools, I found professors that I liked and whose research I could get behind and wouldn't mind doing programs in.
That's such a good feeling. I think, that might be a hard sciences thing, too. Because I feel like if somebody's going to school for, like, social work, they can kind of go anywhere that has a social work program.
Yeah.
But if you're in a hard science, you kind of want to pick a professor that really is doing what you want to focus on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the social sciences also, it might be more location-based, because the schools I'm looking at are kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. Pretty isolated.
So that's like another really big thing to consider when you're going to grad school, but for me at least, that wasn't an issue.
How are you feeling about potentially being in the middle of nowhere? Not that we aren't in the middle of a forest in the middle of nowhere now, but...
I feel like we're not in the middle of nowhere just because we have public transportation to other, like, bad public transportation.
Yes.
But there are systems to get out of here.
Right.
But I think the campuses at these places are more lively, I guess, than ours is, or at least more diverse or something.
What a dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a trade-off, I guess, but,
That's true.
Just being in a new lab is the most important part for me.
Yes, because I feel like you're going to spend so much time in a lab that's probably the most important consideration.
Yeah. And it will only be 2 years, hopefully, unless I mess up.
Or unless you are Dr. B, which I'm still personally pushing for. All of you send B hate mail.
Oh my God!
That she needs to get her doctorate.
Oh my God. No. Everyone I've talked to about graduate school, I said, oh, you're getting your PhD, right? And then when I say, no, I'm just doing a master's, they look at me funny.
I know.
And I'm like, what?
Because you're in the hard sciences and people want to see a doctorate.
I know. But right now, especially when finals are coming around and whatever, like, I'm not about more school and more classwork.
Oh, you're talking to somebody who can barely get through 4 years. Oh, believe me, I'm not shaming you for not wanting to do more frickin' school and papers. Like, absolutely not. I completely understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but that still is a good thing, and I am really looking forward to graduating and moving on to another school.
That's so exciting. I can't wait. Please know that we are having a huge party for B if she gets into pretty much any of these programs, because they're all amazing, as are you. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Bear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for all the compliments. I'm ready to compliment you now.
Oh, gosh.
What is your good thing?
So my good thing, I guess, also has to do with applications. I just applied for basically my dream job.
Oh my God!
I know. Like, I just sent in the application. I'm a little worried. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think I'm what they're looking for. But if I get this job, like, listen, I am just ready to make moves. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, and this is a job that is, like, directly advocating for certain populations that I'm a part of. And it's something that is, like, puts you in control of a lot of money, which I like.
Oh, that's so relevant.
And yeah, I don't think it pays a lot of money, but like being able to play around with just like, oh, you want $1 million? Here you go. Like,
oh my
blank
god.
check, you know? So like, what a job,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
I know. So
That's like power moves.
yes, I'm ready for power.
Yeah.
I know. So
Yeah. If you're working with money, usually you get money as well. So
you think.
even if this doesn't pay as much, I feel like that would definitely pave the way for
Yes.
actually getting money.
Yes, which is eventually the goal, so that I could be the person writing blank checks to nonprofits from my own money, you know, and not someone else's. But in the meantime, I will take someone else's money to play with. I'm not saying no. So I just sent in the application today. I genuinely don't think that I'm what they're looking for. It has like an expected start date of March 1st.
Oh my god. Before we graduate?
Right. So like my cover letter was to convince them like, so if you wait till June 1st,
yes.
I will be the best candidate for this position and I will be everything you ask for and I will do it for so cheap that you basically can't say no. But I'm worried that they're gonna be like, oh, we kind of have to get this started, you know, and pick somebody who can start March 1st, which is gonna be sad because it's like I know I could do so well at this, but I'm trapped in like this freaking like monsoon of education that I just want to leave. Yeah.
Could you do it as an internship type thing maybe? I guess they would have to reach out for you for that opportunity.
Yeah, they would basically have to be so like floored and impressed by all of my incredible work and skills that they would reach out.
But you are skillful and incredible.
I don't know. I kind of. I figured I learned about this position at this conference that I was at, which is where I just came back from.
Yes.
Literally across the world in what did you call it earlier?
Foreign mangroves.
Foreign mangroves.
Yes, I'm surprised this wasn't your good fact because it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good, and I'm still like on a high from how great it was being in the foreign mangroves. But I feel like I'm talking about it so much to people, and that like every time anyone's like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I just got back. I just got off a plane." I mean, sorry, I'm fine. Like I'm just constantly referencing it, and I don't want it to get worn out on people because I still want license to talk about it for the next literally 2 years until I go back again. But I was at this conference across the world, and I heard about this position because the organization the job would be for was there presenting like this incredible new program and how they're hiring people to work this new program that they're starting. So that's where I heard about it. But yes, the foreign mangroves was my good thing for the next like 100 years eternally because it was so great. I had so much fun. I met such great people who I love dearly, and I feel like now I have family all over the world. So when eventually we become refugees of the Donald Trump regime, we have places to go now.
You have places to go now.
I'll bring you with me. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe.
It's okay. I'll go to Canada. I met some people at like, I don't know, cold forest conference.
Help.
I don't know. Food science conference.
There you go.
Who are based in Canada. So I can go there really quick.
That's frosty. You sure you want to do that?
Yeah. Well, Vancouver specifically isn't.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. It's pretty nice.
I've
pretty
heard good
temperate.
things about. Yeah, I've heard good things about Vancouver.
Yeah, there's a really cute university there, University of British Columbia. And I did not apply, but their foreign applications are very different. Like foreign student applications are pretty different and follow a very different timeline. So that's something I would have to prepare for, like at least 6 months in advance.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. So I as messy type 1 do not function in that way.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe you'll get your master's here. Be so peer pressured to get your doctorate that you'll go there for your doctorate.
Yeah. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Good.
Because if like I already have all my the people I'm working with in lab here telling me, so if I have 2 labs plus parents plus friends telling me to like do this, I'm a very malleable person.
Yes. This is the best kind of peer pressure ever, though. Like, some people's friends, like, peer pressure them to go do, like, horrible things and, like, go graffiti the town at midnight. We're like, go get your doctorate. Like...
Is it, though?
Yeah.
I don't know. Every PhD I've ever met is very, very stressed and sad.
Yes.
All the time.
That's actually true. That's true. Yep. Pretty much all grad students. Not to, like, scare you out of your good thing. This was supposed to be a good thing. It's fine. You're gonna be okay. It's great. Okay.
It
It's
will
just
be
fine.
great. I'm
It'll
still
be fine.
excited. Don't worry.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, in the spirit of new adventures,
Mm.
let's tell the folks a piece of unsolicited advice.
Oh, okay.
Start us off.
So branching off of food science, because I love food science.
Yes.
Always, always cook your food.
Good.
If you cook your food, you do not have to worry about where it came from or what's in it or what you might have put in it, because it will be safe if you cook it to the correct temperature. Parasites, bacteria, viruses, all that gross stuff will be cooked out if you cook your food.
That's interesting. I think I agree with you, but sometimes you've given me like questionable food advice that I'm not really sure. I'll be like, hey, like B, does this look safe to you? And you'd be like, are you gonna cook it? And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it still kind of like looks a little off or smells a little weird. Like,
I mean, it might not taste great if you just look at fruits and vegetables and stuff, obviously you're not going to cook all those because the flavor goes down, like everything starts tasting kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You might make a food more safe in a microbiologically speaking.
Okay.
But in terms of flavor, texture, that stuff will still probably might not be right where you want it.
But it won't like send me to the toilet for 100
No,
years.
exactly.
Okay.
So if you have old meat and you're like, I don't know, like if this is so good, I would just cook it a little bit longer than you might usually cook it. Or if you have old spinach or some old like vegetable in your refrigerator and you don't want to throw it out because vegetables and fresh produce are expensive,
Yes.
then if you cook it, then you're generally going to be safe.
Interesting. Okay, so what is like the point at which you should definitely not use or eat something? Because I feel like your standards are pretty low.
Yes, I mean, I definitely think if you cook it a lot, like you're pretty good across the board, unless, especially if you're in somewhere like America where food is so processed and so safe, even from like the farm stage.
Okay.
We are very, very good about our microbial standards. But if you see something on your food, generally don't like cook it at that point.
Okay.
If you see it, throw it out. But if you're just like, I don't see anything, I don't smell anything, it's just kind of past its expiration date, if you cook it, you should be good.
That's a question I've always had. And I don't know if you want to like really go into this, but like, so the date on food, how they'll have like, you know, use by or sell by or whatever, those dates, like those are flexible.
Yes.
Like it's but how flexible?
Those are mostly there for the consumer.
Right. So
Yeah.
when I look at something and it's like, okay, this expired last Wednesday.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like it's for consumer safe peace of mind, not necessarily from any kind of microbial standpoint.
Oh.
Yeah. So when someone is developing a food product, like obviously food does have a set shelf life, but
Right.
that date that you see on there is mostly for consumers to like, if they don't want to make their own judgment based on what it looks like or whatever, or if they just want to like really quickly be able to see, okay, I've had this for 2 weeks now, I should throw it out. That's what it's there for. It's not necessarily like a scientific date on there.
Okay. That kind of makes me feel better because we have so much food waste in this country. It's absurd.
We do.
It's just abysmal. We need to, And I'm guilty of it. Like I'll have, you know, a box of tomatoes and I'll be like, oh, this one looks gross. Like I'm not gonna eat it. But it's not, it's fine. You know, it's not gonna hurt me and being annoying about it.
Ugly food too, especially with produce, is not accepted. Like if a carrot's got, I don't know, like 2 carrots instead of just one nice. Yeah.
Right.
It's not going to be sold at a grocery store. It's going to be sent probably to animal feed places.
Yeah, that's where all our ugly food goes. We need to start like an ugly food movement. Like,
they do. They have ugly food markets.
Do they really?
Yeah. They're not very popular.
No.
Obviously.
Would imagine they
like,
wouldn't be.
Yeah, and they're not going to be in the Northeast here. They're probably going to be more in southern areas or California, where all of our food is grown. But they do kind of exist.
Huh. We got to get on that. We got to make that a thing in our deciduous forests.
Oh, yes.
You know, like in this part of the country. Because we do need to just use ugly food. Like, just eat ugly food and just accept it and embrace it and not throw out things just because they're ugly.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I have a piece of unsolicited advice.
Beautiful.
This was something I also learned when I was in the foreign mangroves at my conference. I was talking to a person who is Native American and was kind of talking about, like, just our connection with each other and a connection with, humans and animals and the land and plants and all that kind of thing. And you know how a lot of people will be like, the new annoying, obnoxious thing to say lately is like, I don't believe in feminism. I believe in humanism.
Yeah.
Like, why can we all just be humanists? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a frustrating concept in and of itself, because we can do a whole episode on why that's ridiculous.
Oh, beautiful. That also be.
Yes. Ask us questions about feminism, please.
Oh my gosh.
But so people will say that and be like, oh, I just care about all humans, this and that. And I haven't done any like real exploration into humanism because I don't care generally.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of confirmed why I don't care. So this guy that was at this conference was talking about how humanism is actually a really destructive philosophy because it sort of posits human beings over any other thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like humans over the land, over nature, over animals, plants, water, the air, everything. And that's so detrimental because the land was here first, and the land is all we have. And, it is the most important thing at the end of the day. The land, including like water and air, of course. Just like the planet,
like Earth.
Right, Earth. And the galaxy. This because we send a lot of broken shit into space too. Like there's a lot of space junk. You ever heard of space junk?
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
I'm just thinking like if in the like long run, I guess we're not going to outsurvive the Earth, then we're definitely not going to outsurvive the universe. So
right.
I'm like not gonna worry about space right now.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. So, forgetting about space for the moment, I thought it was really interesting, and it sort of changed around a lot in my head some things about how, like, we really do center human beings over everything, and that's unhealthy ultimately because human beings are terrible.
Yes. Yes, that is definitely true.
Yep. As a bee and a bear, we can personally attest that human beings are ruining everything.
Yeah. So many of my cousins are now gone forever.
Yeah.
Because of these humans.
Save the bees, people.
Yeah. Yeah, my little ground burrowing cousins. They're really hurting.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they're ground bees. And I think they live in old groundhog or prairie dog burrows or some like animal of that nature. But because all the prairie dogs or something were killed by settlers when they started moving west, now these bees don't have homes. Yeah, so it's like this whole chain of events that started because of, humans.
This is what we're talking about. We need to decenter human beings from pretty much everything because that's just the worst direction to go in, generally. Okay.
Yes.
So let's just, be intentional about not caring about humans as much as we do because it's just frustrating. But
yes.
That's my unsolicited advice.
It's good.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the segment that this podcast is named after, Ask Bee and Bear. We have 2 ways for you to ask us questions.
You can email them to us at askbeeandbear@gmail.com.
Or send them to us anonymously through Tumblr at askbeeandbear.tumblr.com. So you picked out the questions last time.
Yes.
And it's my turn to pick out the questions. And we got some super amazing ones. Not that they all haven't been super amazing, but these were just exciting to see in the inbox.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good we're getting more active viewers.
Yes.
Or
viewers.
listeners.
Yes, there's nothing to view, but listeners, please do send us questions because that is what gives us work.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a question that I found really interesting. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so it says, this is from Anonymous, and the question says, any advice on dealing with gut reactions of bitterness/inadequacy when people you love, or even people you kind of knew in high school, are doing great things and becoming successful adults? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'm not done.
No.
I really want to be a better friend and not human garbage, but it's been difficult to reconcile other people's achievements with not being where I want to be in terms of my career and education.
Okay, I'm not laughing at you, Anonymous. I'm just laughing because I feel these things all the time, literally all the time,
right.
On Facebook, on the news, just talking to people who are, doing things and not, buzzing around, doing whatever.
Yes.
So you're not alone, first of all, which is always important to
yes.
know. Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, I also have. I think everyone has felt this. Like, everyone's sort of like
Yes.
people's gut reaction is sort of like covet what someone else has or be like, why isn't that me? But
Yeah.
what are some strategies around that gut feeling?
Strategies around the gut feeling?
Yeah.
Well, I just think embracing it. But not acting in a negative way, like saying, "Oh, yes, they have this good thing, but like I can be there or I'm not there because of not because of anything lacking in me, just because maybe I haven't submitted my applications yet. Maybe I'm like not at that point in my life where I even am applying for jobs yet. So like how could I even compete on that field?"
Right.
I know I'm always comparing myself to the grad students in my lab, but they're like several years older than me, which in terms of schooling can be a lot of information. So I don't know. Comparing yourself to your peers, I guess you're kind of more on the same level as they are, but you are not living the same life they are. So
Right. That's, I think, is the core of the issue, is understanding that we're all on our own journey,
Yeah.
and like as like stupid and like metaphilosophical as that is, like it's true, it's the truth. Like not all of us are, child geniuses who graduated school at the age of 13 and now have a doctorate and are like, prodigies. Like
yeah.
but also not all of us are like have a really horrible, terrible, detrimental life. And I don't want to give the advice of like just be happy with what you have and just be satisfied to be you, because like honestly, fuck that. Like just
Yeah.
like you deserve to like kind of feel a little shooken up sometimes and like want to strive to do better. Like that's okay. But it's also important to know that you are your own person in this universe and you were created to be you and no one else. And so when we're doing these things like comparing ourselves and when we're wondering why we're not like somebody else, it's because we're not somebody else.
Yeah.
We're ourselves.
No, for sure.
So that's sort of like a way to make yourself feel better. But sometimes it is important to sort of take stock of the stuff that you're doing right and the stuff that you're doing well. Like, because a lot of times it feels like, oh my gosh, if I'm not at like 17 meetings a day and have my name published on this and that report and I'm not being interviewed for the local newspaper, then I'm just not doing enough, which is simply not true, And it's important to just be like, did I get out of bed today? Did I put on my clothes? Did I go to class? Like, so many people are not even going to school. Like, and if I'm not in school, like, did I go to work? Or, like, did I take care of things around the house? Did I take care of myself? Like, did I sit down and do something good for myself? Like, it's important to understand that, like, if at the end of the day, the only person that you took care of is you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how humans shouldn't be the center of the universe, but, like, you are your universe.
Right.
So you have to love yourself.
Yes.
And be spicy.
Yes.
Yes.
Stay spicy. But the other half of this question is sort of, how do you not have this gut reaction of bitterness? So we sort of dealt with the inadequacy half of it, but there's also a question of sort of being bitter, of like coveting thy neighbor sort of thing.
Gut reactions are very, very hard to control.
Right.
For me, honestly, like if I feel bitter about something and then I will then like try to compensate in probably maybe an unhealthy way.
Ugh.
And like try to do something myself that makes me feel good. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a big thing. Like I don't have to go out of my way. Like I didn't go and apply to 5 more schools just because other people were applying to 10 schools.
Good.
So, but instead, I worked harder in lab. Like
Okay.
I'm working hard on my senior thesis. I'm at a lot of points want to give up on the senior thesis, but I know like barely started it and I want to give up. But, I want to be on the same level as my peers. I want to have this like line on my graduation certificate. So stay ambitious, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, if you meet your own standards, then you will feel better about hearing about other people's accomplishments.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I think that, like, this point about the phrasing gut reaction, like, I think if you have a gut reaction of bitterness or inadequacy, like, that's okay. Like, it's okay to have that as a gut reaction. I think the issue stems when it's, like, you're constantly looking around at people being like, ugh, why is that person better? And, like, why does this person have what I want? And just, like if it turns you into, like, a grouch and a gremlin, then, like, then it's time to really sort of reevaluate, like, is this healthy? Probably not.
Yes.
So I think that, like, if it just stays a gut reaction, like, please know, yeah, exactly, you're not alone. in that. But, you know, I agree with the advice of sort of setting your own standards for yourself and then following through on them. That's really the only way to maintain health.
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, maybe if you feel like bitterness is sort of overtaking a lot of your personal emotion, then like go out of your way to congratulate somebody tomorrow. You know, go out of your way to like really genuinely be happy for somebody and be like, hey, like that thing you did, that's incredible. Like that's such a great thing, and like
That's
I'm
good.
really proud of you, and I think that you're awesome and you're doing great work. Because like that'll make yourself feel better. You know, like I think maybe turning it into like a positive thing, saying like, wow, every time that I feel like I want to be really negative about somebody else's accomplishments, take that instant feeling and be like, I'm gonna go out of my way to be positive about somebody, because that's like totally a way to make yourself a better person. Like that's the easiest way to better yourself, is to just be good to other people. So like, you know, somebody else having something that you want or having an accomplishment, like if you're the person who's like, hey, you know, like that's really awesome and you're great, and if you're the person that can like provide that encouragement, that's totally something that you can do better than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. That's really great advice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bear.
Yeah, I'm trying. I had a good night's sleep last night, so I'm on my A game.
That's good.
Probably until we get to the next question, in which I'll like lose my ability to function. But
no, I believe in you.
Thank you. See, look how easy was that.
Oh, see, yes, can't be jealous of Bear.
Perfect. Okay. So the next question we have here is also from another anonymous, and the question says, my friend and I have been single for such a long time now and are starting to feel down on ourselves since it really gets to you. Everyone always says it happens when you least expect it, but there's just nothing. Do you have any advice?
Okay, well, it does happen, just really randomly. I feel like. But also, I guess, you know, I am someone who likes to stay home and watch TV by themselves and do a lot of things by myself. And I'm very invested in school, obviously, but if like making time for yourself is very important, and making time to like go out and be with your friends is very important. So if you like do put yourself out there, you will eventually, hopefully.
Yes.
Fine, but like yeah, you do have to get out, I guess. Get out of the house.
It's the worst. It's so bad. Well, not really. With the advent of the internet, you see, you no longer have to leave your house. You just have to be within a certain radius of cute people, and then it'll work out. But I don't know. I picked this question because I feel it's so hard. Like I'm with you, Anonymous and Anonymous's friend. Like I feel this. I get it. It's my life, but I'm trying to think of like my advice for this. I don't know. I think it's also like loving yourself, like what you said. But I have learned to like switch my desire for like a romantic partner into a desire to just be the baddest bitch on earth. So that's where I kind of am like funneling my passion into. I just like have started to not started, this has been like my whole life basically, like really kind of channel a lot of my energy into just feel like deriving pleasure from being a bad bitch, you know? So like just knowing that I'm like bettering myself, or knowing that I'm doing something great for me, or knowing that I'm like living my truest expression and living my best life, and I, you know, have a fly haircut, and I took care of myself, and I painted my nails, and I, you know, look good in the way that I want to. Like that kind of gets me through in the way that like I guess a romantic partner would sort of validate a lot of those things for me. Like I've learned to sort of validate them in myself.
So this is I guess talking to the question's point of like being single and
kind of staying
single. Yeah. But also know that this is like possibly not a great university to meet someone for a lot of people.
Right.
And that it is only 4 years, and we are still so young. We are young creatures.
I know. I've had to kind of reevaluate that, especially recently, because I've been hanging out with a lot of people who are like not significantly older than me. They're not like 100, but like you know, the people who are just at a different stage of life because they're done with, you know, a bachelor's degree and have a job and a car and have been able to drink for more than 4 months. You know, and go to a bar. But if this is if this, like, you know, assuming that this anonymous is from our institution, or even our local area, or even the state that we're in, like, what a horrible place to try to find a life partner. So, please do not feel pressured to make this work, because it's not working for most of us statistically.
Yeah. Yeah, and the people who are in relationships, they don't necessarily last.
No.
Like, they're not necessarily any happier they were when they were single.
No.
So, grass is always greener type thing.
Right.
Some people, do find really great partners here, but that is definitely not a given.
Right. Absolutely. But to go back to your original point of, like, going out and actually finding a partner is, like, get out and do stuff. Like, leave your house sometimes, which is challenging advice for the two of us to give.
So challenging.
Just knowing
we
who
never
are.
leave our den.
No,
yeah,
we don't. We leave our den to come here to the recording studio, and then we return, and that's about it. But,
yes.
But we like it that way, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is good advice to go out and talk to new people and do, like, the important thing is to, like, do things that you love while you're out. Like, don't go out just to, like, dress yourself up in a way that you don't feel comfortable and stand at a bar that's kind of gross and try to meet people that you don't actually like. Like, don't do any of that. Like, go do things that you have a genuine passion for and something that you genuinely derive a lot of joy from. And the people that you meet who are surrounding you are going to also feel that. And those are the people that you want to be around in the first place. Like, I feel like so many people that I know, I don't know if you also share this, but, like, so many people that I know, like, waste their times on these relationships, like, just to be in a relationship, or, like, just to get laid,
just to be in
or just to have somebody, or just, like, and it's not anyone healthy, it's not anyone productive, it's not anyone who they even have anything in common with. It's just, like, well, we're both single, and I don't want to be like this anymore, so I guess we're gonna get together. Like, don't waste your time.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to fall into that trap.
I know. It is. It's such a trap. And it's a trap that I live in. I live in the trap 24 hours a day. But it's okay. I'm, like, me personally, I'm, like, fine with being single. Like, I'm like, especially these last 4 years. And then everything before that, we were, like, literally children. So I don't count any of that.
Yeah. No, and we're still more or less children.
More or less.
Yeah.
More or more. We're literal children.
More and more. Or, okay, I was going to say more and more adult, maybe.
Oh.
But
I was up until 2 a.m. yesterday watching videos of, like, the new Tamagotchi model that was released exclusively in Japan. It's so cool.
Is it in color now?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's
Is
in
that
color.
Like pixelated, like
No,
8-bit pixels?
It's really nice.
Oh,
it's in
okay.
color. It connects to the internet, and you can, like, crossbreed the species of Tamagotchi into, like, new creatures.
Sounds like some GMO stuff.
It's whatever. But so yeah, we're adults. We're more and more growing up. I am worthy of an adult relationship. God damn it.
Couldn't even get through it.
It's okay. We're giving good advice. We're adults. We're giving productive, healthy tips for adulting.
Yeah, adulting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's also another, I guess, a good tip is, like, are you in a place to have a relationship? Because, like, some people are really childish. And I'm not saying that you, Anonymous, and Anonymous's friends are childish. But this is a real consideration is, like, are you, like, up to the task, the work of having a relationship?
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to have a real-life adult relationship that's not, like, high school or middle school, then, like, you need to be ready to actually put in work into something and, like, actually communicate with another human being, which is something that I don't particularly enjoy, so I don't do it.
Bear, please.
I know. I'm giving bad advice. Like, right? See, I'm telling you, the last question was fine, and now I'm like, just ignore.
No.
Like, yeah. So, evaluate what, where you're at, and then, work on it one way or another, whether it's being okay with being single or, going out in a healthy, productive way to find a partner.
Yeah. As someone who, we like staying home, so it's always good for me if these events are planned. So, like, Halloween, pick that night, like, okay, I always go out on Halloween. Or, like, for New Year's, I always want to go out with, like, friends for New Year's.
Yeah.
So if there are things you can plan and look forward to, that helps me get out.
That's real. That's super real. Yeah, I'm very opposed to spontaneity. I hate it. I'm not a spontaneous person. Like, people put in their dating profiles, like, I loved, like, adventure and, like, spontaneity and getting out there. I'm like, nope, next. Like, next, not doing it. Like, anyone who just wants to drop anything and just go do something, like, irks my soul. I can't do it. Like, plan something.
Yeah. I don't mind being spontaneous, but it's not good for me because because I usually end up forgetting something else I'm supposed to do.
Oh my god.
So really doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So maybe
But
spontaneous.
plans.
Yes,
Yeah, plans are good.
Make plans.
Yeah. I love looking forward to things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess like also, yeah. No, that's good. That's a good end to it. I'm not gonna keep talking.
Okay. Okay, we could probably do another question,
Cool.
maybe short question or something.
Yeah. So I do have a question that might be short but might be kind of interesting, and it sort of goes along with the last one, but
Okay.
not really. So this question just says, any tips on making friends when you don't know anyone?
Oh my god!
Why? What are you? Don't cry. Don't cry. It's like,
That's such a bad question for me.
why?
I do not make friends ever.
Well, that's why I'm challenging you to think of some good advice.
Okay. Well, for me, some people have tried making friends with me, which is always a challenge.
Yes.
But
I can attest to that.
yeah. But generally, if I just like see your face a lot, so always being in contact with that person, and like not through texting because I might ignore you, but like through actual physical contact.
Just body slam your friends until they invite you out.
Yeah, I will notice you if you body slam me multiple
Help.
days in a row.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, if you're like always talking to that person, or at least always saying hi, I'll think like, oh, you're friendly, and then feel maybe more comfortable in engaging in a conversation, and then, conversations can lead to friendship.
Right.
So for me, like constant contact, I guess,
Okay.
is very important in starting a friendship.
What about like in a short-term scenario? So like something like at a conference or like at a music festival or at like a meeting that you're at, like a club meeting for the first time and you are going by yourself. Like how do you sort of engage people?
Oh my god.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
It's I don't know, the same thing, I guess. Just saying hi, just starting to talk to someone. Like it's always scary to like say hi to someone, I feel
Yes.
like, but in general, especially on this campus, people are generally pretty friendly.
Yes.
So if you say hi, no one's gonna snarl back at you.
Right.
So they'll say hi back. I mean, and if you are at a club meeting or a conference, then you've got topics right there to talk about.
That's true.
Really easily. So if you have something in mind to say like, oh, I really like this talk, or oh, I have a question about my major. Have you taken this class yet?
Right.
Like, yeah, I guess having a little conversation or a conversation starter in your head is good.
Yes.
But yeah, I'd like to hear what you have to say because I'm not good at making friends.
I don't know if I'm like necessarily good at making friends. I think I'm good when I apply myself and try, but like
That's the thing.
that's the thing, is finding the motivation to be like, oh, I want to talk to the person, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. Like,
Yeah.
So I think that like so at this conference that I was just at, where I was literally on the other side of the planet on my own, and did not know anybody, did not know, who was going, what type of people were going, kind of just went in the first day, sat by myself and hoped for the best. And like, of course, some friendly folks came over and
That's
I
so
ended up
good.
like making friends with them and all of their friends for the rest of the week, and now I have, they're basically my family and I love them. So that was just like
Ugh.
sort of a stroke of good luck.
Yeah.
So I guess honestly, like it could be a good thing to like make the effort to look friendly, but that might be just advice for me. Like I have a very shady face. Like, and I know this about myself. Like
Yes.
I always look angry and I look sad and mad and all this stuff. So I sort of was intentional about like not sitting down and immediately putting my face into my phone. Like sort of looking
Yeah.
around, smiling at people as they came in so that somebody would
Mhm.
sit next to me, or kind of like greeting people and just being like, "Hey, good morning," because
Yeah.
inevitably you're gonna run into like a friendly person who's like, "Good morning, how's your day going? What are you here for? What do you do?" And then it's like, okay, cool, like this is the cool person, and if you don't run into that person, then it's fine. But yeah, so like making yourself approachable. If you don't want to put in like the work to go approach somebody else, then at least make yourself approachable.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually going out there and talking to people, I think what you said probably rings true in almost any situation, is like find like a good prompt ahead of time. Sort of like a designated thing that you can say to anybody, that'll spark a conversation. And I think that like it is a lot easier when you're going to something that has like a purpose or a topic. Like if you're just going and like
Yeah.
sitting in the park and wanting to like make friends, and like maybe don't have just like a, so how's the weather, and like, this park is developed.
Stop.
Like I don't know, yeah, like something like uncomfortable and terrible like that.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I think that you can have something sort of pre-designated to say to sort of break the ice, like having a
Mhm.
little something. So like when I was at this conference, you know, being able to be like, you know, hi, where are you from, or like, you know, what kind of
Yeah.
work are you interested in, or like, why did you choose this session to come to? Something that's easy. Like you don't want to drill somebody on the first day and be like constantly just asking somebody tons and tons of questions, but um, you know, something like light and easy to talk about to sort of ease yourself in, and then once somebody starts talking, take a real interest. Honestly, the best way to make friends, and I was reading something recently about like social skills and how to make friends and stuff like this. Not necessarily in anticipation for this conference, but because it's interesting and I found it cool. But it said that honestly the best way to make and maintain friends is to be a really good listener.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I've heard that.
people love to talk about themselves, and so if you're the person that people can sort of bounce all of that stuff off of, people are gonna love you. You know.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I definitely appreciate that in you as a friend. Yeah, how well you listen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, listening and not judging is a
Yes.
big thing.
Yes. If you have like shitty reactions to things, then just don't even bother listening. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. That's probably my advice generally.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, listening, and then, you know, also not being afraid to just sort of like sit somewhere new, you know, sit at a new lunch table, talk to somebody new, sit next to a group of people, not like butt into somebody's, you know, existing conversation, but, you know.
Oh my god. In high school, we had a day where we were supposed to make new friends, and they made us sit at a different table, a different lunch table that day, and it did not work at
No,
all.
I'm sure not.
It was really awful.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah. So, choose that battle wisely.
Yes. That's true. Um, yeah, it can
Yeah.
be challenging.
I think what you were talking about before with relationships and finding yourself a group that maybe you don't know well but you definitely identify with, like going to a new club that you always wanted to go to but maybe
Yes.
didn't get to.
Yes.
That's a really good way to meet people who have the same interests as you, and also like a way to meet new friends slash potential partners.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I guess like in our previous responses, we sort of like we're assuming that somebody already had a place to go and that they were there and wanting to make friends. Like if you're just at home and you're like, I don't have friends right now, or like I want new friends and don't have anywhere to go, like yeah, beginning with like something that you love and then going to find other people who are into it. There's like websites, like I think there's like meetup.com or something like that that is like all kinds of groups. Like they have like walking groups and knitting groups and like people who like to go on historical tours and people who like to go bowling and people who like to go like wine tasting, all kinds of stuff. And like I think that that's a great way, especially as like a young adult, because you're assuming that like it's other people who use the internet, you know, so they're sort of not going to be hundreds of years old, probably. And it's all people who are doing something that you're interested in, you know. And like when I looked at it one time, and there's so many options of tons of things that there's just sort of should be something for everything, something for everyone, you know, presumably.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. So those are all the questions that we had for right now. I thought all those were great, but definitely, you know, send us more.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellow listeners. We love you. All right. So before we wrap everything up, do you have any special thanks?
Oh, I always forget about this part and never have anything prepared.
I know. I have one.
Okay, let's hear yours.
Special thanks to dragon fruit.
Oh, did you just try those in the foreign mangroves?
Yes, I did. I've never had one before. I've had it sort of as like a flavoring for different things. Like people are like, oh, it's a pomegranate dragon fruit, like whatever, this and that, which is like not real. But having like a chunk of dragon fruit was so interesting. It tastes like it has the texture of like a melony kind of fruit, almost. Not Melanie, like a person named Melanie, but like
no,
it has like a melon, like a melon type of texture.
Yeah.
Sort of like between watermelon and cantaloupe, and it tastes like an apple kiwi watermelon hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of tasteless and a little gritty, but it was just interesting, and I would like to thank dragon fruit for allowing me to partake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. What about you?
Okay. Well, when I walked into the studio, I was a little bit tired because I haven't eaten yet. And then I saw these lovely sound cushions on the walls.
Yes.
And they're so fun, and they, make us hearable and not echoey.
Yes.
So thank you, sound cushions in the recording studio.
Thank you, recording studio. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who was under the assumption that we just sort of like sit on our bed and record this on like a cheap laptop somewhere. Like, folks, we're in a sound studio. Like, we're using like a $3,000 microphone right now. Like,
we have equipment.
We have, like, I was playing around with like buttons and knobs and dials earlier. Like,
yeah, we did sound tests.
We did sound check. We have levels to this shit. Like, you need to get on it, okay? So if you thought that we were just playing games, we didn't come here to play.
No, we're on SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud. You heard it here first. So thank you to the cushions and thank you to Dragon Fruit. And as always, thank you to Stefan Kartenberg, who is the artist that does our intro and outro song. If you like it, let us know. If you don't, send us some of your free music and maybe we'll switch it up.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't
Fan
it?
music.
Fan music.
Or just, fan of music.
That too. Perfect. All right. So from all of us to you, we bid you adieu.
Bye.
Bye, friends.